This is the first meet in 5 years. We hosted the championship in 2011. The one thing that they can expect is that the ground is firm. There's good footing all the way around the course. In terms of times, typically we see fast times. It'll be dependent on the weather. Looks like the weather forecast is pretty good for tomorrow, cooler temperatures. Looks like very little wind, which that's really the factor that will slow people down. If there is uphill grades on the course, there are downhill grades to counteract that. So there's always that sense of equalness amongst the course, that wherever there is an uphill, there's a downhill, or if it's flat, you don't have to worry about that. There's a balance to the race in itself. On top of that, the runners have a lot of straightaways. There's not as many turns. There's a lot of time to make up separation from the runners themselves. And it also rolls, which I like in the sense that it's not a flat course. It's not going to be like a track meet or anything like that. There's some challenges there. You've got to think about your race as much as anything else. And cross country is as much a thinking sport as it is a physical sport. The good ones are able to do both throughout the entire race. When you get to host at home, there's always a comfort level, I think, that is an advantage for your team. There's a little bit of excitement with the fact that the crowd is in your favor. On top of that, it's just the idea that we don't have to travel. We don't have to get up as early. We can get out to the course. We've seen the course already. There's a comfort level in knowing what to expect a little bit ahead of time. So that's a positive in going out there or hosting it and having it there. The course was designed by Gordy Aldrich, our assistant coach, who was the head coach before me. He wanted to have a very spectator-friendly course along with a fair course for the runners, and I think you have both elements there. Spectators in cross country don't get to see a lot of the race. With this one, you do. The nice thing is, like at the start of the race, they can walk across one fairway, watch them come up, walk across the other fairway, watch them go back down, walk across the fairway, watch them come up, walk across the fairway and go back down. So in the first mile, I believe you'll see them like 7 times. So it's really nice in the fact that you just walk a little bit and you'll be able to see most of the race. Most people get to see about the last mile of the finish for the most part. They'll be able to see people coming in. Once you get to the top of the hill on the last straightaway, there's a nice about 300-meter stretch of straight shot right to the finish. So they'll be able to see them from that point on and see some great races down the final home stretch, hopefully.